Hey guys, it's Matthew here from Odie Stories Media. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. Yeah. So, I don't know what video this is. Um, it's almost 2 o'clock in the morning, and, yeah. Anyway, today we are looking at, another Pilot fountain pen. Um, This is one of Brian Goulet's, well, or at least it used to be the pen that Brian Goulet would carry around with him. It was always in his pocket. And the pen I am talking about, or the pen that you're seeing right now, is the Pilot Custom 74. And here it is. um, I I got this pen a while ago and you know, just never really inked it up. And then when I started, you know, just giving away the majority of my pens to friends and family, um, I held this one back because I didn't really give it a fair shot. And I wanted to give this pen a fair shot. I believe this is in the, yeah, I got a broad on this. But so I held this pen back, inked it up, and I've written with it a little bit. I don't want to say this is the first impressions of this pen, because when I first got it, I inked it up. Yeah, you know, it didn't impress me. It wasn't, I didn't see myself basically reaching for this pen at all. Um, but now that I have it inked, I'm reaching for it a little bit more. I'm writing with it a little bit more. And um, so um, overall, I look, you know, it's a pen at the end of the day. It doesn't really make a difference. Fountain pen, ballpoint, whatever. Um, at the end of the day, it's a pen. It's basically a writing instrument. You know, that's all it is. But anyway, um, like I said, it's got a broad nib. Um, typical pilot nib, pilot nib, yeah. Typical pilot clip. Um, just a round finial there. Then at the end here, same thing, round finial. Um, it has the clip band around here. Comes down, you've got a basically one big band around at the end of the thing, at the end of the cap, and on it it just says Pilot Custom 74. And then I think you have the 3 stars, but anyway, I kept the sticker on it just so I know what what I've got. The cap unscrews, and that reveals the Pilot. And I'm not sure the number of the nib on this, but I believe it's a 14 karat gold nib. It might be the number 15 size nib. Um, but I will have to take a look, and I'll put it into the video if I can. I'll pop it up on the screen. Um, the section It's a little bit small for my liking, but it's nice in the hand. Um, the pen does post, and it posts securely. Um, you can write with it, but to me, it, you know, it's not it's not overly long. But again, I don't tend to use my pens posted. Um, the the threads are really, really smooth, and then it just comes straight down, and then you've got another small ring at the end here, and then you've got the video. Unscrewing the body, it's now Pilot has their own proprietary converter and cartridges. So this pen had does take the Con 70, and you just pump it a few times and you can get basically a full fill. It's not like the other useless Pilot converter that you get um, with the Pilot vanishing point, which barely holds any ink at all. But this pen writes nicely. It's a fairly wet pen for how it writes. I've only written a handful of pages with this pen. So, and um, yeah, you know, for me, really, is it a pen that I would go to, that I would reach for on a regular basis? Not really. Maybe here and there I'll actually reach for it. Um, it's you know, and that's kind of the thing. The Pilot Custom 74, it's a good pen. Like, I'll give it that. Pilot makes excellent pens, but for me, it doesn't compare to the Pilot Custom 823. Um, and in other videos, I've talked about how I love the Pilot Custom 823. But this pen, you know, it's decent for what you get. I mean, you get your money's worth when you buy a Pilot. Um, no doubt about that. Um, and I've only written, like I said, I only written maybe about a dozen pages with this pen. Um, but overall, I like it. No hard starts. It writes every time when I pick it up. Uh, and I like the fact that you can actually kind of see the ink level through it. I've got this in the blue color. A while ago I was looking at the other colors that the Custom 74 comes in, and there was another one. I think it's called the Bluestone, something like that. Anyway, I was thinking about getting that one, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, well, you barely reach for the one that you've got now, so why would you get another one, kind of thing. And that's where that basically fell. So, but yeah, overall, you know, it, it's a good pen. Um, really nice in the hand. I can see why Brian likes this pen. It was one of the first found pens that he went for. Um, and and now I can see why he likes it. Um, but for me, I prefer the 823 over the 74. And yeah, but really nice threads, not sharp, can barely fill them, unless you go looking for them, but they're there. And yeah. Um, Pilot has probably some of the smoothest nibs that I've ever used. And that's all I got. Um, Thank you so much for tuning into this video. And we will see you in the next one. I'm Matthew. See you next time.